Hello students, and welcome to America Reads. We are college students who create fun learning activities for kids just like you. And our fun activities are on many different topics, including reading, writing, and even math. We are so excited to have you with us today, and thank you so much for joining us. My name is Callista, and in today's lesson, we are going to be learning how to ask and answer different questions about unknown words in a text. To begin, when we are reading a text, whether it be a book, a poem, or another type of writing, we might come across words that we do not know how to say, or that we don't know how to pronounce. And we may even come across words that we do not know the meaning of, or we do not know the definition of. And when this happens, the first step is to identify the unknown word. And to do so, all you have to do is take your pointer finger and point to that word in the text. Or you can even use a pointer, such as a writing utensil like a pen or a pencil, and point to that word in the text. And by doing this, we are clearly identifying the specific word that we will be working with. And another tip that you can use is to, once again, grab your writing utensil and write down that unknown word on a piece of paper. And by doing so, we will ensure that we know the exact word that we're going to be asking and answering questions about. So after we've identified our unknown word, the next step is to ask our questions. And today we are going to be going over 5 very important questions that you can ask yourself when you come across an unknown word. And these 5 questions will help us to understand how to both say the word and understand the meaning of the word. So now let's jump into our 5 different questions. The 5 important questions that we should ask when we come across a word that we do not know are: Number 1, what was hard about the word? Number 2, is there a chunk in that word that I know? Number 3, do I know a word like that? Number 4, can I get my mouth ready? In other words, can I sound out the word? And lastly, number 5, is there something in the picture or the other words that can help me? So now that we know the 5 important questions to ask ourselves, let's discuss how to answer these questions. So let's go back to question number 1, which is, what was hard about that word? To answer this question, think about if sounding out the word was hard, or if knowing the meaning is what was hard. And ask yourself, are there sounds that you do not know how to sound out? Or have you ever heard these types of sounds before? And after asking yourself these questions, you'll be able to know what was hard about the word, whether it was sounding it out or knowing the meaning of it. Now, let's go to question number 2. To answer, is there a chunk in the word that I know? Ask yourself if there are parts of the word that you are familiar with or that you have seen before. Are there smaller words in the word that you know? If there is a chunk in the word that you know, you can help yourself to be familiar and remember what those words mean, and that will help you to know the meaning of the unknown word. Now, question number 3. To answer, do I know a word like that? Ask yourself if you have ever heard a similar sounding word, or words with similar sounds. And ask yourself if you've seen a similarly spelt word. Have you seen other words that have similar types of spellings? And now to answer question number 4. Can I get my mouth ready? This question means, can I sound out the word? And so to answer this question, ask yourself if you can sound out the different letters or sounds so that you can try and say the word. And finally, number 5. In order to answer, is there something in the picture or the other words that can help me? You should look at any pictures that may be available to give you clues. And also, you can look at the other words in the passage and ask yourself, are there other words that describe what is happening that can give me any clues? And now that we know how to ask and answer questions, let's try some examples. So let's take a look at example number 1. This passage says, Juan wants to make something sweet for breakfast to share with his family. He decides to cook pancakes. He adds blueberries and syrup to his pancakes. Now, let's say we do not know the meaning of the word pancakes. So let's go ahead and circle our word. So pancakes. And now let's write it down to the side so we can really identify which word we're working with. So that is our unknown word. And so now that we've identified the word that we are working with, let's go through our 5 important questions. So, question number 1. What was hard about the word? Well, the word is rather long, so it makes it a bit difficult. And also, let's say I've never heard of this word before, so that's what makes it difficult. So now that we've answered question number 1, let's answer question number 2. Is there a chunk in that word that I know? Well, let's take our word again, pancakes, and we'll write it down here, letter P-A-N-C-A-K-E-S. And so now, is there a chunk in that word that I know? Well, I know the word pan, and a pan is a type of cooking tool. I also know the word cakes. Cakes is a type of dessert. So we know that this word is used to describe something that is sweet, possibly like a dessert, similar to our word cakes over here. And we know that it could possibly involve a pan, so a cooking tool. So maybe we are cooking something sweet, and that's what pancakes means. So now that we have answered question number 2, let's move on to question number 3. Do I know a word like that? Well, like we said earlier, we know the words pan and cake, which are very similar to the word pancakes. So yes, we do know words like that, and those can help us figure out what this word might mean. And number 4, can I get my mouth ready? Once again, in other words, can I sound out the word? Well, yes, we can sound out the sounds pan and cakes. We know that letters P-A-N spells pan, and C-A-K-E-S is cakes. So now we know how to pronounce the word. It's pancakes. And now that we have answered number 4, we can move on to question number 5. Is there something in the picture or the other words that can help me? And now to answer question number 5, let's go back to our passage that came along with a picture and see if these can give us any clues to what the word might mean. So first off, let's take a look at the picture. So the picture shows a person. In this example, his name is Juan, and he is eating, and we know that he's eating because he's holding a fork and he is making a face where it looks like what he's eating is yummy, and we can see that there is a plate with some type of food on it. And so this shows us that he's eating something. And also we can take a look at the passage. So the passage says that he adds blueberries and syrup to his pancakes. And so we know that he is adding toppings to something he can eat. So once again, we know that he's eating something. And the word sweet, where it says he wants to cook something sweet for his family, also shows how pancakes must have sugar or taste very sweet. And so now we know that Juan is eating something sweet, he's eating it for breakfast, so we know he's definitely eating something, and he's even adding other sweet toppings to it. So we can be familiar with the fact that he is probably eating something, and he's eating something that is sweet. And so now we have answered all 5 questions. And after answering all of these 5 questions, it is now clear to me that pancakes, our word here, is a type of sweet breakfast food that Juan is cooking and eating. So that is how we can use our 5 different questions to figure out how to say what a word is and also how to describe the meaning of a word. Well, students, that's the end of our lesson for today. Thank you so much for learning with us, and we hope you come back to our channel very soon to learn some more. If you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up below and subscribe to our channel, and we will be back with more learning videos very soon.